but I caught it. Gotta be quicker than that.
Okay.
How are you?
I am great. How are you?
Great, my love. I don't know what happened earlier. I saw that you were on, but I couldn't see that you requested me, so I was just waiting. I was waiting by the wayside,
Right. Cause
waiting for you to request.
I hit it as soon as I joined. I was like, she can't see it.
You know
Lord.
Instagram be on one. You know, sometimes they want to act like they got some home training, other times they don't.
Right.
So let's see. So I was just explaining to our collective that we have a Halloween special coming up on the 28th, and we need everyone within the sound of my voice to come dressed to impress in your best Halloween gear. Tuesday, October 28th, 11:11 Eastern Standard Time. Y'all better come dressed to impress. We have a special, spectacular Halloween Cards and Conversation special. So make sure you guys come dressed to impress for that segment. And before we get started, I just wanted to talk about the inspiration behind tonight's topic. I was talking to Bestie Ash. Who knew? We were talking today. We were able to get a little it felt like maybe an hour conversation. I don't know, maybe a little over. And Instagram was acted up. And I was talking to her. You know, our mutual best friend Ashley went to college with her. And I was telling her that a couple of months ago, I had a dream about one of our other mutual friends. I'll tell you off camera. And I was like, it's so crazy because I haven't dreamt of her in like years. Like, actually, I don't think I've ever dreamt of this particular friend. And Ash was like, that's so ironic. She just hit me up. And I was like, no. She was like, yeah. She was like, maybe you manifested it. And I was like, yo. I said, stop. And she was like, no, I'm serious. Like, she just hit me up. And I was like, this is crazy. This is perfect. And then she suggested that we talk about telepathic communication for tonight's topic. And I was like, it's so real. And that instant, that moment just proved that it's so real. And I honestly think, without a shadow of a doubt, that I systematically manifested her reaching out to Ashley in some galactic way. I manifested her reaching out to Ash. And it was crazy how it all came full circle. And I was actually stumped. I was like, what the hell are we going to talk about tonight? And Ash was like, telepathy. Talk about telepathic communication. And I was like, girl, you always on it. So thank you, Bestie.
Yes, thank you.
So I don't know if you have any announcements you want to make before we dive right in. If you want to make any announcements, go right ahead. Wait, pause really quickly. Just so you guys know, our Cards and Conversations gear is tagged in today's post. The Michael Jackson pose. If you click on the actual reel, there's a link that says products, and if you click there, it's a direct link for you guys to be able to purchase all of the Cards and Conversations gear, the sweatshirts, everything. So click there.
Yes.
And you guys will be able to support the cause, support the movement, and support your soul family, because we are. We're a soul family. So that's all my announcements. If you have any bestie, please feel free to.
You took my announcement, so there we go. We're aligned.
Okay. So bestie said he good. He said we had the telepathic communication already. So he said we good. So let's go ahead and deep dive into tonight's topic. If it's your first time here, welcome. If not, welcome back. I'm actually Anya, an intuitive alchemist and energy reader, and I'm just here to help y'all heal, all right? And we're healing with humor because laughter is always the best medicine. Talk to these people, B.
I'm B. I am a goon. And as Ashley stated, we're here to help you heal. I am a tool for spirit to use as spirit pleases. So you will see me operate in a multitude of gifts, not just one at any given moment in time. But they're all here to help you move to your next level.
Yes. We are here for you. We do this. We done this for you, okay? And yes, we are excited about Halloween special as well. Cam 34's daddy. We are so excited. So make sure you come dressed to impress. And without further ado, let's go ahead and deep dive into tonight's topic.
Yes.
so that you guys can understand, overstand, and understand how to strengthen your telepathic channel, how you can strengthen it, because everyone that is spiritually tapped in has it and has access to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it beats telephones, it beats texting, it beats messages in a bottle. Telepathic communication is a direct line to the person who you need to deliver the message to. And it's the quickest way to get what you need to be conveyed to that person without having to pick up that phone and call them. And honestly, you don't need too many tools. All you got to do is be tapped into self, be tapped into your higher self, and you'll be able to get these messages delivered to the right person, okay?
Yes.
So like I
Yes.
was saying earlier about the situation with my best friend, with me, thinking or having a dream prior to her telling me that this person had reached out to her, that was a form of telepathy, like me having that dream. And the dream was so weird. I didn't even get into what the dream was. So the dream was me and the mutual friend were in the grocery store just cutting up, like laughing, dancing, having a good time. And I was just like, well, Ash, what does that mean? Because I haven't spoken to this person in years. I'm talking like roughly over 15 years, since college, pretty much. And she was
Right.
like, well, maybe you need to like check into your inner child. And I was like, okay, I see where you're going with this. And she was like, if y'all were laughing in the dream, it may be spirit's way of telling you that you need to laugh more. You need to be more childlike. You need to tap into that inner essence of being a child. And I was like, okay, I see where you're going with this. And dreams always mean something. So that's why I don't take anything lightly. Whenever I have a dream about something, I'm like, check that. Let me write it down. Let me see how I can apply this to any area of my life. And that's exactly what I'm doing now by delivering this download to you guys. So, telepathy, all right? You ever think of someone and then moments later that person calls you? You ever imagine something happening and then later on down the line that thing actually happens, okay? That's telepathic sensitivity at work. These are your thoughts manifesting into actual actions, all right? Now, what is telepathy? Telepathy isn't just about reading minds. It's about energetic communication, literally communicating energetically with something, with someone, right? Every thought, every feeling carries a frequency because everything holds energy. Everything is energy. You'll always hear me say that. Everything carries a frequency because everything holds energy. When you're energetically aligned with someone or something, a soulmate, a twin flame, a close friend, a family member, you're able to sync energy fields with them to where you're able to speak to them, talk to them. So even if you've lost touch with someone, or if you feel like you're not in communication with someone, or you haven't spoken to someone, you guys still carry that energetic field and frequency to where you're still able to communicate with them. And a trick that y'all always hear me use whenever I go to bed, if I need to get something delivered to someone who I haven't spoken to or who I'm not speaking to at all, say what you have to say before you go to bed, and that message will telepathically get delivered to that person because you'll be in the dream state once you reach your 5D. Sorry, my alarm's going off. Because once you enter the dream state, you are now entering into the ethereal realms, and you are now in your 5D mind, right? So your subconscious is now working. You're no longer conscious. Your subconscious is now working for you, and you're able to get these messages conveyed and delivered to the person that they need to be delivered to, because you're no longer in this realm, the earthly realm. You're now in the ethereal realm, the real realm, I should say, because this whole earthly realm is just a test. It's just a project. It's just a school for you to learn what you need to learn until you go to the next assignment. This is why you start picking up on other people's moods, thoughts, actions, and physical sensations without saying a word. Sometimes it's not your energy. Sometimes you can be okay 1 minute and the next you're like, something ain't right. Something just ain't right. Lord have mercy, babe. And that can mean because you're picking up on someone else's energy. And the moon is in Cancer now. So that's another thing, guys. The moon is in Cancer. So a lot of you guys are probably picking up on a lot of different energies, especially if your moon sign is in Cancer. I was telling my daughter that this morning. I said the reason why you're so finicky and emotional is because you're a Cancer moon. Like everything was getting to her. I just feel the need to like this stage. So everything was getting to her, and I was just like, that's the reason why you're in your feelings, because the moon is in Cancer and you're a Cancer moon. And once we, figured that out, she was like, okay, that's why everything is bothering me. So yeah, that's another reason why a lot of you guys might be in your feelings. Check what phase we're in and what your moon sign is in, and that'll tell you why you feel the way you feel. But that's another reason why a lot of you guys need to understand that you carry the energy of being able to send telepathic messages, because you're a spiritual being, you're having a human experience. You don't need to say a word. You feel everything, and these things are energetically sent to the person just with your mind, just with thinking of it, right? You might already be using telepathy, not even know it. Right? So here are a few signs. You sense someone's emotions, before they tell you. Like being able to pick up on other people's emotions. A lot of water signs can do this. I know it's great at doing this, reading people without even having to say a word, or the other person having to even say a word. He knows how to just scan the scene and scan people's emotions, all right? So being able to sense someone's emotions before they say anything, that's another way of using telepathy or utilizing telepathy. You dream of someone right before they reach out. Ash, that happened today. Now, of course, I dreamt of this particular person months ago, and she told me that, this person had just reached out. So that's another form, all right? You get sudden thoughts that don't feel like yours, and they turn out to match what the other person was feeling. So that's another way of you feeling other people's emotions. That's why it's so important for you to understand what's yours and what's someone else's emotions. And that comes with knowing yourself, knowing that you have no reason to be mad, you have no to be sad. So why do you feel these feelings? Because perhaps you're feeling someone else's emotions. So it's always good to do a temperature check yourself to make sure that the emotions that you're feeling are indeed yours and not someone else's. So to end, how to strengthen your channel, how to strengthen these spiritual gifts, because telepathy gets stronger as you are deepening your spiritual gifts. Telepathy gets stronger, right? And they're going to come in, they'll start coming in more often than normal, and they'll start coming in as I'm speaking. Like you'll start receiving these downloads as if someone's talking to you. That's how you know that your gifts are strengthening and becoming deeper. They won't be little intuitive nudges. They'll be like someone talking to you like this. Like they'll be right in your face, live and direct. So absolutely. That's how you know that they're slowly getting stronger, because they'll no longer be little whispers and little pricklies on your neck. Like they'll be right in your face. Like, look, this is what it is. Okay. So yes. So doing, how to strengthen it. So I didn't talk about that yet. All right. So meditation. Make sure you guys are meditating. This kind of goes without. This is for every segment. For dreams, for healing, for trying to work on the mother and father wound. You gotta meditate for everything.
Everything.
Everything, Becky, right?
Everything. You gotta get aligned.
You gotta meditate. You gotta meditate for everything, to heal the mother wound, to heal the father wound, to figure out why you're dreaming about XYZ, to work on telepathy. You gotta meditate. It kind of starts with meditation. So that kind of goes without saying. I don't even know why I wrote that down, because that goes without saying. Card work, you can ask spirit to show you exactly what you need to do through cards, through pulling cards. So pulling cards and figuring out what you need to do. Journaling, Setting energetic boundaries, because again, if you don't know where these thoughts are coming from, you'll think that they're your own thoughts, and that, okay, maybe I am upset when you have no reason to be upset. So you have to set energetic boundaries, just like you set boundaries with people not being able to, come into your house, or not being able to step on your toes, or not being able to sweep your feet when they sweep, and that's bad luck, by the way. You got to set energetic boundaries. You have to tell people, look, energetically, I know you may be pulling on my energy, but not today. Not at Big Mama's house. You have to set energetic boundaries with people so that
Big
they know.
Mama,
Listen,
Big Mama.
okay. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. You gotta let them know, listen, I know you upset. I know you in your feelings, but not today. Like, I don't need you to be trying to pull on my energy. And that's why you gotta call your energy back every single day. Listen, I call my energy back from every person, place, or thing, every property, every job, every entity. Because if not, people will feed off your energy, especially when you were chosen one. Make sure you are calling your energy back every single day from every person, place, or thing. Okay? And last but certainly not least, a practice exercise. So here is a practice exercise that you guys can do, closing your eyes, breathing in deeply. I had no idea how important breath work was until we did that segment on it, like practicing breath work. Bestie's already doing it. Look at you. See, he already on top of the game. Closing your eyes, breathing in deeply, and sending them love. Like, whoever is trying to get a message to me, I send you love. I send you a open heart for you being able to release what you need to release so that it gets to me, because sometimes people aren't ready to tell you what they have to tell you because they may feel blocked, or they may be scared, or energetically not ready. So with you sending out hearts and an open signal for them to send it, then they cannot feel so pressured to not open up to you. So that's another way to get them to be able to send you that energetic message, letting the universe know, listen, I am open. I am willing and ready. Whoever wants to send me a message, or whoever is trying to send me a message, I'm ready to receive it. And then you shut it down, because then you may be just getting all type of messages from all type of which way, shape, form, or fashion. So then you shut it down, and hopefully that person will be able to come forward with that telepathic message. So I always have a question at the end. Yes. Bestie, have you ever received a telepathic message, and was it in fact the message that you indeed received? What exactly was the message, and how was it received? How was it downloaded to you?
It just came. Yeah, that's how I was thinking about it. No, it just came, like, say, like, we're sitting here talking now, and just like how I get my downloads, that's how it comes to me. It's just like a thought. So I think I have shared this story before about Aaliyah. Aaliyah was the first death that I ever picked up on, right? And that's the thing that I wanted.
You never shared it. Please share it.
Okay, so because I want people to understand that if you are in the line of mediumship, you're gonna have intuition. Like, your intuition picks up on death like nobody's business. And that was sort of like the basis of my intuition. It all surrounded death. So I was like, hey, I don't want to be the death angel. Like, I felt like I was the death angel, or something, and I'm like, hey, I don't want these things to happen. But I was at breakfast with my mother, and she was preparing breakfast, and I was like, obviously in high school during this time. um, and I sat down, and as soon as I sat down, she hit me. It was like Aaliyah, and I was like, okay. And my mom turned around and she said, well, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you making that face? And I said, I don't know. I just started thinking about this singer. That was the way I could express it, because it was a thought. It came in as a thought. And she said, well, maybe she's coming out with an album. And I said, no, she just came out with an album. She said, well, maybe she's going to go on tour. And I said, yeah, maybe that. I haven't heard anything. And so I was just like, okay. But it was just real strong. It was like Aaliyah.
Was it her face, or you just heard her name?
I just heard her name, and so for me, I'm like, okay, why am I hearing Aaliyah? Why is it so strong? It was very much the same thing when I moved here, and it was my same reaction, and it was like, home, welcome to Tennessee. Excuse me. And so it was like this. It was like Aaliyah. Like why am I hearing Aaliyah in my thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
And we were getting ready to watch a movie. Like 2 minutes later, the neighbor that lived two doors behind me knocked on my door and was like, "Hey, y'all busy?" And I was like, "Well, I just finished eating breakfast, but we were getting ready to watch a movie." And he was like, "Okay." He said, "Oh, wait, before you watch the movie, have you heard about Aaliyah?" And I said, "No." What happened? He was like, she just died. And I said, what do you mean she just died? And he said, it's on the news. So he ran in, I turned it to MTV, and sure enough, they said Aaliyah Houghton had just died in a plane crash. And I yelled to my mom because she was just still in the kitchen. I said, "Mom, that's her. That's her." And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "The girl that I was just talking about, that's her on TV. She just died in a plane accident."
Oh my God.
And
That is
so
crazy.
yeah, so when you get these intuitive pulls, these telepathic pulls, it comes in real strong. It's almost like someone pulling your arm and saying, "Look this way," but it's all here, and you're just like, "What?" It could say, "Turn the corner, walk this way," right? And next thing you know, where you were standing, an accident happened, or you see somebody that you're meant to see. Like that's how strong these things are. The same thing also happened with me with Lisa Left Eye. Not as strong as Aaliyah, but with Lisa Left Eye. And I think because both of them, they were my favorite artists during that time. So I was always looking for something. So for me, I think that's why I picked up on them. But then in hindsight, I'm like, but why am I picking up on other things? And I think I shared with you all about how before all this stuff came out with Diddy, like when we were in college, I had, well, one was in college and one was as soon as we graduated. I had two dreams about him, but was there telepathically, and I'm like, okay, I don't even like Diddy like this. Why am I having dreams? And how he's dressed, how he was dressed, how the rooms were set up is basically what I heard in the courtroom. The all white robe, the all white sheets. Yeah. And I was standing there looking at him. And I would not be surprised if I was to have a conversation with him to say, "Do you remember a figure around 2006 and you said, come here?" Like, I really felt like I was physically there, but I wasn't there. Obviously, I was in the mountains of North Carolina. But, but it's like these telepathic things will come in different ways and it will pull you, um, and you'll have these experiences. And so I was sharing each one because one was a dream, one was a thought, you know well, I guess the other two was a thought. But then you have things like my mom, who her and her friends were sitting in the car, they're thinking something and she's answering what they're thinking. So yes. And so it's just like, how did you know what I was thinking? She was like, I don't know, but here's the answer.
Oh my God.
So right. And so it's like, when you have these things, they're gonna come differently. So please understand that it's gonna come to everybody differently. I don't know why, but it does. But it is definitely like this pull to say something, to do something, to react in a certain way. Sometimes it's just there for you to enjoy the ride and see what happens.
Hmm. Now, you know what's interesting? Right before they announced that D'Angelo had passed, I had put up a post and used his music, and I was like, damn, I ain't heard nothing from him in a while. This was yesterday, right?
Hmm.
And then today we find out that he passed, and I was like, I was just saying we hadn't heard nothing from him because Angie passed and they were dating. They even had a child together. So I was like,
Yeah.
Angie passed. I'm like, I ain't heard nothing from D'Angelo. And then we find out today that he passed from pancreatic cancer.
Yep. And I
So you
saw,
know what?
and Monday I saw an article about him, and he was like, I apologize for not being as vocal, but my kids know how much I loved her, and and so I was just like, wow, 2 days later, and here we are. Well, not even 2 days later, a day later, 24 hours later. Yeah.
A day later. That's interesting. And I first learned about pancreatic cancer watching the infamous Rocky. I didn't know what it was because I hadn't had anyone in my family who had passed from it or who dealt with it. But that is serious, and you have
Hmm.
to take care of yourself. And I say all of that to say that certain ailments can creep up on you, and before you know it, it's already did its due, and you really can't stop it once it's reached
Hmm.
a certain level. It's hard to reverse it. Similar to Ananda Lewis, the very pretty host that was on MTV, I believe that she tried to do it the natural route, and I know that
Yeah.
she lost her battle as well. And these are all people that we grew up watching, and grew up listening to, and so it's heartbreaking to hear that so many people that we grew up with, not with shoulder to shoulder, but watching and listening to, have just lost to these health issues. But which is why you have to make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves and eating healthy. But that D'Angelo one, that really hit home. I
Yeah.
was just like, I was just thinking, why haven't we heard new music from this man?
Yeah. and
You know?
and I would even say this, so it's not too far off topic because of the fact is that our bodies are meant to eat certain types of food. So there are certain foods that will block you from receiving messages. So
Talk about it.
you do have to have a strict diet. You do need the water. Spirit is in water. That's why you
That's right.
replenish. It's not just to make your skin pop and glow and look good, but it's also to
Mm-hmm.
help you connect with spirit. Another thing is that um, I don't know if Holly is still on or not, but we were just talking about food insecurities in classes, and we were talking about how there's a lot of chemicals in the food and the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful what you're eating. And I just had this conversation with my mother. Um, so one of my classmates is writing on prostate cancer, and I'm writing on cervical cancer. There's another one writing on breast cancer. And one of the stipulations is they always tell people to change your diet. That is because when you eat a more natural and healthy lifestyle, you are removing the chemicals that are placed in these foods. That's why it's not good to eat all these processed foods. Hey, if you are addicted to McDonald's, limit it to 1 week.
Cut it.
until you can get
Cut
it
it.
out your system, right? And I'm just stating that, just like, no hit to McDonald's. This is like fast food restaurants in general. If
Period.
you want to read a book, read Fast Food Nation. That will have you think about so much stuff that you put in
Yep.
your bodies. And that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing I will say about where Ashley and I, went to school, is because they pushed healthy eating. At one point,
Yes.
I said they're trying to make everybody vegan and vegetarian on
Yes.
this campus,
Right.
but
I thought that too.
but in hindsight, it was all healthy eating and healthy living, and now we're starting to see in real time the implications for that, not only physically but spiritually. We're of the earth. Why shouldn't we
That's
eat
right.
of the earth?
That's right. And and I don't know if it was you or Ash that taught me how to eat according to your blood type. I didn't know that was a thing until I think it was
I
Ash.
was gonna
Maybe
say
the
I think
last time
that's
we had
Ash.
Ash. Correct me if I'm wrong. There are certain regimens and certain diets that you need to eat according to your blood type. So
Mm-hmm.
find out what your blood type is, because certain blood types cannot consume red meat. Certain blood types cannot consume dairy. Certain blood types cannot consume sugary drinks or whatnot. Find out what your blood type is so that you can eat accordingly. Because this is why we're having all of these pop-ups of cancer, of anxiety, all these different ailments that are popping up because people don't know how they should be eating according
Exactly.
to their blood type. So find that out, guys. I just recently found that out when one of my best friends, yes, Ashley, thank you, shared it with me. You have to eat according to your
Yes.
blood type. It doesn't mean you have to go vegan. It just means you have to know what your body can and cannot consume.
Right. And you can use that as part of your as fasting, right? Like you can continue to have your normal diet, but fast with it. Like I have a cousin, him and his wife, they do at the very beginning of the month, they go strictly vegan for 2 weeks, and then they'll
Mm-hmm.
go in with like a fish, and then that next week they'll introduce chicken, and then by the time it's over with they're right back to being vegan again, for 2 weeks. So I said that that's great. I mean, they both look great, they look amazing. they're in they're older than me. I'll just say that in case they watch this video. I love y'all. But I thought that was something. I thought that was something interesting because, and even Ashley has her diets, right? Ashley would tell us about what she's abstaining from, and she look. Ashley, we're gonna have to pull you in one day to talk about how like the life changes that you do, that you eat, because it, I mean, it does connect you spiritually, and we have had those conversations. So diet is a
Yeah.
big part of reception.
Because some people don't even know where to start. I know even my mother, I'll use her as an example. She said that she could not go vegan. She said because when she started, she began to lose so much weight. And I don't think people know how to incorporate what type of foods, what meal preps they need to have. It's very strategic. So if you don't know where to start, you will just start with just cutting out meat. And sometimes that's not the way.
Right.
So you need to know exactly portion size, what type of meats to eat. Like it's a whole system. It's levels
It's a
to
whole
this. So
system.
that's why it's imperative to know what your blood type is so you can know what you can and cannot eat. Because sometimes red meat is okay for certain blood types. You just have to know what your blood type is to know how you need to eat.
Yes.
So that's one thing that I know my mom struggled with when she was trying to go vegan. She was like, no, I couldn't even fit into my clothes. I'm like, yeah, because you just cut out every single meat. You can't just do that. You have to like gradually do that, and then your body will naturally react to it. Just like you said with McDonald's, cut it back to maybe one day a week instead of every single damn day, and your body will gradually adjust to it. Because I know they had a special, I forget what the gentleman's name was. I think he may have passed away, where he ate McDonald's every day for like a year. I think at the end of that, he had high blood pressure, diabetes, all type of stuff. Mm-hmm. So you got to be careful with some of these fast food restaurants, because you don't know what they're. Sorry, my cat is like going crazy because you don't know what they're putting in the food.
Right.
Therefore, you don't know what you're putting in your body, because if they can't tell you what's in the food, your body doesn't know how to break it down and digest it. That's not safe. And that's why we have completely reconstructed what we eat. And I say we, me and my family, because we used to be oodles and noodle eaters. We used to be Kellogg cereal brand eaters, and not that anything is wrong with that, but if you take the time to Google some of those ingredients, riboflavin, red 40, all these other large names that I can't even pronounce, it'll tell you chemicals and what they cause. And a lot of these chemicals cause anxiety, ADHD. The reason why a lot of kids can't focus in school because of these chemicals and these products. So take the time to read. If it has more than 5 and 6 ingredients, It's not good. And this is not a health course for you guys. I'm just trying to put you onto something that I've been put onto since I've completely changed my diet. But if it has 20 ingredients for a ice cream, something's wrong with that. You know, ice cream is what? Cream, sugar, milk, and maybe a few other things. If it's 20 different ingredients, nah.
Right. Right.
Something more natural, you know? It shouldn't take that many ingredients just to create a food. So
And this
take
was for
more time in
somebody.
looking at your food diet.
This is
So
definitely
yeah,
for somebody because food
yeah.
was not a part of the topic, but
Food was never, listen, maybe because I'm hungry, I don't know. It was not a part of tonight's syllabus, but someone needed to hear that. And I'm telling you, I struggled with that for years because you're thinking, okay, it's a quick meal. The kids like it. I don't want to cook every single day. That's going to cost you because the food is not what it is 20 years ago. Now, 20 years ago, pork wasn't so bad, okay? They wasn't putting all of these antibiotics and all of these shots and stuff and poofing up the meat with all this stuff. They wasn't doing that 20 years ago. Now, like, stuff is in mass production. So, in all type of stuff in the meat, just to make it stay red, just to make it look fresh, and just to make it have a
hormones.
longer shelf life.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So we're not eating as our ancestors did, or as the baby boomers, I should say, did 20 years ago, because the food is different. It's completely shifted. They have created Beyond Meat, which is not even real. They didn't have Beyond Meat 20 years ago, so you don't know what you're eating now. They've created a food that is artificial. What do you call it? It's artificial lettuce. So they've even reproduced and recreated lettuce. So just be careful what you're eating. Make sure you're reading because they have to put what's on the label there, and it's up to you to read it to make sure that it is healthy.
Right,
and then it's conducive with your health.
and then also going along with advertisements for most of the foods that you see. We had this guy when I was in 13 to 15, I'll say. And he was telling us about the marketing effects that these food companies have. So, like when you saw the Big Mac back in the day, you saw this gigantic burger, but what you did not know was that the meat was actually raw. It was a raw patty that they put food coloring on to make it that dark and put the lettuce in the bun. So you think this is what I'm going to get. And then you get it and it's like bite size. Right. Right.
Yep.
And so we actually had a guest speaker today in class. And one of my questions to her was, they said that meat was one of the causes of obesity in America, and all the restaurants reduced their patty sizes quite noticeably, right? However, notice how they have not stopped, or they have not started taking sugar out of most of the foods that we eat, though. There's sugar in things that you don't think sugar's in. I remember I was fasting one year and I said, I don't want any type of sugar, any products with sugar in it. I literally read the box. Oh gosh, it's like the flavored crackers. I can see the brand, I just can't call it right now. But the only one that I could eat was their tomato basil crackers because that was the only one that did not have sugar in it. Even the peppercorn crackers had sugar in it, and I was disappointed because those were my favorite. So I was like, get that a little piece of salmon and some. Come on, but I couldn't eat it. Anything with sugar in it, and that let me know how much sugar is actually put in the foods. But yes,
they said that sugar is quite no. They said sugar is as addicting as crack. So keep that in mind. And that's why they have it at every corner store. You look outside of New York, it's every corner store filled with candy. You understand what I'm saying? Like the ice cream truck, going across streets in the summertime. Sugar, candy. All of that's not good. Where are the fruit stands at? Puerto Rico, fruit stands on every corner. You understand what I'm saying? Like, where are all the fruit stands? Sugar has completely consumed America. And this is a crisis because sugar is hard to break down. Don't get me started. Listen, let's see.
Right.
Don't get me started. Listen. All right, so let's go ahead and didn't get to ask B, guys,
Where
because I know I have a couple of people in the DM. I wasn't able to
I was
let's
wait
see if
now.
I can
I
pull
do have
over.
some cards because I did ask
Oh yes,
questions.
yes. Pull some cards. You want to pull some cards first, and then we get to ask B.
Yeah, so I did
Okay,
because
pull the
I
cards.
asked Spirit give me 3 cards to represent tonight's message. And
Okay.
so the first one is the Knight of Wands. You're always going to have with the messages with telepathy, right? You're always going to have a message coming in. It's always going to be guided. It's always going to be uh how spirit is giving it to me. It's like you know how whenever you send an email and you can send it secure, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's always going to be a secured message just for you for something. Remember how I said
Okay.
it's either going to teach you something or you're going to intervene for somebody. It just depends on the situation. The next card that came in was the Two of Wands. Either you're going to move or you're not going to move when you get the message. I will behoove you to move. I'm telling you, life is so much better when you move. I'm telling you, it's gonna. Life is so much better when you move because
Yes.
what happens is that you could be the reason why somebody gets a chance to live another day. You're the reason why somebody can face a hardship. You don't know why you're being led to give somebody something. Um, even now talking, I remember as a kid, I was always led to go to the Bible, get out one of those. I don't have any right now, but the note cards, like those index cards, I would write out the whole scripture and tell them read this 2 to 3 times a week. Like I was prescribing a scripture. That's what you can call it. I was prescribing scriptures to people, and I would hand it to them. They wouldn't tell me. They would tell my mom, "I don't know why Brian gave this to me, but this is what I needed. This is Brian answered a prayer that I prayed to God." I would just get it, and it's like, okay, well, I'll get this to this person. And so, you can be the reason why somebody, has that better countenance and can understand God is listening to me.
Yeah.
Spirit is honoring my request. I am not
Mm-hmm.
forgotten. And so that is why I always have said on this channel and my other, you know, whenever we go through something, it's not for just for us, it's for everybody else. That's why we have these gifts. It's not just for show. I mean, I know a lot of people get on different platforms and they want to show you, oh, let me show you what I can do. And they have the glitz and the glam. But baby, when I'm telling you, spirituality is not so glitz and glam as a lot of people make it seem. It's scary, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
How you, for example, there's a young lady at my job. Is This is a different young lady, and she has a hard time because I told her, I said, baby, you have a mediumship gift. You can see the spirits, they're tugging on you. And she said, yeah. She said, I can pick up every time when somebody's getting ready to die. She said, and I don't want to see it. And I said, but it's meant for you to see it because you'll be the one to help mend whatever needs to be mended. And I gave her the example. I said, just think if you're working, because she's thinking about going into nursing. I said, now think about if you're working with somebody's grandmother and they really haven't seen their granddaughter or grandson in a while, you can be that person to say, hey, she needs to see this grandchild. How can we make this happen? She's been asking for them. And then they have that conversation, and that's the last conversation that they have. Now she can go off in peace. And when I broke it to her that way, she was like, I guess you're right. And I said, yeah. So don't think of it as scary because our intuition, this telepathy can be scary. Very scary because you're just like, what? Why am I hearing this? Because sometimes it comes as one word.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, I heard a name and I was just like, okay, this has nothing to do with the paper that I'm writing, but okay. A friend called me and she starts talking about her aunt and she says the name. And I was like, interesting. I said I thought about her earlier today, and I was trying to figure out why all of a sudden her name just popped in my head. And I'm writing this paper on cervical cancer, and I know she does not have cervical cancer. And she was like, and she does not. And I said, right. But I said, I guess me, higher self me, futuristic me, knew that I was going to have this conversation. And so sometimes when you hear a word, look out for that word, look out for that name, right? And then the third card that came out, which wasn't surprising, which shouldn't be surprising, is the devil card.
Uh-oh.
Because and the devil card has two meanings. The devil card can either have you doubtful or fearful of what you're meant to give someone so that you don't deliver the message. And it can also means that the devil is whispering to will whisper things in your ear to make you doubt yourself. Either way, it's creating a self-doubt. But when you connect and align yourself with spirit, but definitely the meditation, I will stand behind meditation 100-fold. Meditation will get you there. And it allows you to decipher where this message is coming from. Because I know when there's a thought, and I be like, oh, now I know that won't you, God. Hold up. You need to hush. Because we're not going, because, and it'll even about yourself, even about yourself, you will have these thoughts and you'll be like, wait, I was not even thinking that. Scratch that. Remove that. I take that back. I cancel those words that just came out of my mouth. I say that very quickly because I want it to be killed so that it does not manifest. And so that's why this card is here, because that devil like energy will twist and mingle your words. Yeah.
Seriously, guys, take heed. Tarot was one of our quick picks on how to differentiate between what's yours and what's someone else's. So do a card pull, and all you got to do is just pray. Quick prayer to get rid of any energies that aren't yours. To bless the cards, knock on it a couple of times. Do that card pull, figure out whose energy is what. When in doubt, I do a card pull. When I don't want my lower self to do the answering, I do a card pull so that my higher self is doing all the thinking and the talking. So if you are done, B, we will segue into Ask B. It's the time of night where we put tarot to the test. This is your time to ask B anything under the sun. Relationship, situationship, jobs, that weird dream you had last night, nothing is off limits. So this is your time to ask B while you guys are pondering on if or what you're going to ask B. We just want to remind you guys that on the 28th, we want you guys to come dressed to impress for our Halloween special. Now, in case you don't know, we haven't released what the special treat is, but we definitely want you guys to come dressed festive in your outfits. I'm going to have my little setup decked out Halloween style. We're also going to have a Halloween party here at my house. So I want to make sure that you guys come dressed to impress, because it's a day that we need to celebrate, okay? Even if you don't celebrate it, just do it for us. Take one for the team. Come dressed to impress. Yes. And you don't have to go all out. Just put together what you have at home, because sometimes you don't even know that you have a Halloween costume right there in your closet, okay? We ain't telling you guys to go out and spend all this extra money. We have a question. Yes. Let me go ahead and hit it.
Yes.
Thank you, Soraya, for asking a question.
5 weeks in a row every night. I would definitely tell you this. She's definitely trying to get your attention on something. But let's clarify on what specifically. Um, 'Cause that's what, 35 days. That's 35 days. Okay. And as I'm pulling the cards, another thing that's coming to me right now is we have to understand that spirit uses telepathy to give us things, right? Because in the physical realm, it's so easy to say, oh, this happened to me. But when you can't explain it, you can't explain certain situations that happen to you. It's only, as they say, it's mystical things that happen. Ooh. All right. So four cards came out. First two came out face down. The last two came out upright. So I'm going to read the two that came out upright. The first one says, first quarter moon in Virgo, assess the situation. So think about what you were seeing in these dreams. Think about what exactly, like right before she speaks, what is happening, right? Um, I feel like there's, not for all of the dreams, but for several of the dreams, there's like it's certain things that's happening that is trying to get your into not your intuition, get your attention rather. Okay. Then the next one says first quarter moon in Taurus, release control. I'm getting clarifying cards, but those are the first two: assess the situation and release control. Um, the first two, the first one, new moon in Gemini, think it through. So before I share the other card, so the other thing is, I know you said the movie. That's how you have to look at it, like a movie. But think about, when we have I'm not for sure, like a mind-boggler movie, and we're like, what was the plot twist? How did the movie change? It's almost like spirit is saying, like, you have to take the pieces of those dreams and put them together. Like they don't seem like they make sense, but they make sense. That's like what I'm getting. The next card that came out was full moon in Capricorn, take a reality check. So it's something that's happening in your reality that's mirroring the dreams. Um, so say like in one dream you're in a park and she's wearing an orange cap, right? Um, okay. But it's like it's something there in the dreams that is, it's like a key to why she's coming, right? And the cards again are Gemini, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Okay. So we have the three cards that came out. The first one is the Two of Pentacles. It's a decision process for sure that you have to make. Um, this actually came out yesterday in the Spiritual Progress Report on tapping in with spirit so you can have a balance between the spiritual world and the physical world. And that could also be the reason why she's calling you, is to tap into meditate, right? Align yourself. Don't get too far into the affairs of this 3D realm, right? When you can have that balance, some of us have to have that balance. Um, as weird as it seems, because whenever I was saying this reading yesterday, I know for me, it was, I've been told for quite some time to tap in even more. And so I have been. The next two cards that came out is the Four of Pentacles in reverse and the Seven of Swords in reverse. So it's almost like you don't have to hide. You don't have to hide your wealth anymore. You don't have to hide your resources anymore. It's almost like a it's like a coming out story. You don't have to hide in the closet. I know you. I love you for who you are. Hold on, let me see. Since the other day was my dad, cousin said, but she's always there. She was a spender. So yeah, so that's why I was just like
The
baby,
Gemini
if you got it, flaunt it, you know. So yeah, so see, like I said, the Gemini, and it says think it through. Mom, is there any other reason that you want us to share with her? Mm. Two cards fell out. The Five of Wands and Temperance. So there's been a the word that I heard was it's been a struggle. It's not really been a fight. It's just been a struggle on your temperance, on waiting for things, certain things to happen. Um, but what I'm also hearing is that you have to create the reality. So it's like she's coming as a reminder to say, like, you don't have to struggle with these things. Like, show your power. It's sort of like, so, and I'm also hearing right now that she stands by, she's like your guardian angel for one. Let's be clear on that. I think we talked about this offline. She's definitely your guardian angel, and she's protective over you. She's just like, it's like when you say something, it's like she's there. She's like your amen corner. Like, yup, this is how it needs to be done. Tell them, yes, this person needs to get this together. Tell them, and so it's like that's the thing where it's like don't hold back who you are. You are the person that you are for a reason, right? It's like, don't, like, when you look at it upright, it's like, me hide for what? Yep. So she's definitely like, she's in your corner. Um, definitely don't feel like you're alone. Now, we've never talked about that, but I'm hearing never feel like you are alone, like she's always in your corner. She so, so what I'm hearing is she was like she's a mama's girl. I just heard that. Like she's a mama's girl. But it's just like she know why. She's a mama's girl. It's like that. It's giving me, you know, we say the rich auntie look, like, and I like you said, like she's a spinner, but it's like when everybody has that rich auntie and we know how she acts, it's almost like she's a mother's girl. Mm, like that. You know?
The baby and the favorite.
See, but yeah, like that's what I'm getting. It's almost like don't hide who you are. Um, bottom of this was at the bottom of the deck, Three of Swords. It's like you don't have to hide. You don't have to. Um, it's like make a. What I'm getting is like it's almost as if she's saying like you're as big as me. You know how I came into the room. Um, See, and I'm just now reading this. I just read Vivacious. Yeah, that's how it's that's what I was getting. It's just like you know how I was when I came into the room. Like that's how you have to be. Like you're my daughter.
Mm,
Yeah. And it's like you I'm not gonna say that you've been called to kind of like take her place, but it's almost like you like she's like be that same big person in the room. Don't feel small. It's just yeah. It's like
don't take.
take up space, right? Woo. I don't know if I can say that online, mama. um I'm gonna try to the way she showed it to me is like now mind you I have never seen her mother, but what I'm getting is like she's like be the big chest in the room, like she's like big be the big chest in the room.
Oh,
Right. But yeah, like that's what I'm really getting. It's just like she's like don't hide, be that big presence, be the big chest in the room, like and the other thing that she said is but do it in your style because she knows that your style is different from hers, but she's like be that big person in the room, like it's like that stand on business, right? That's what I'm getting. Let me see. I just heard that there's victory in your walk too. It's like when you put on a good heel, the way you walk is victorious. It brings a presence.
almost hate going to bed. I like some different dreams.
Yeah. But look, as soon as I said the walk, the Eight of Cups came out, walking in a new direction.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely talk to her. Talk to her before you go to sleep. Because she's definitely communicating some stuff. Like, and I would say this. If I go to sleep without an alarm clock, this is how spirit wakes me up. I start getting random dreams about crazy stuff like drinking Kool-Aid out of a river or something like that. And then I'm like, what was this dream about? Oh, it's time to wake up? Okay. So it's definitely her trying to get a message to you, this message to you. Stop for one night. Yep. She said, "You gonna acknowledge me?" She said, "I can't bug the other ones like I can bug you." So that's what she is. Listen, I have a few people that's on the other side. I be like, don't you come playing games and tricks and bullying me.
Okay.
You stay over there. Like I ain't got time for your foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got too much to deal with here. Okay.
That's how they do. I just want to give you a big hug, Soraya.
I know.
I want to give you a big hug. Oh, let me pin this other person's comment. Hold on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I saw another one.
Yeah. Well, let me just make sure Soraya's finished. Do you feel complete with that read, Soraya? Just so we don't move on to the next without making you content with the read.
Oh, she sent a hug.
Oh. Only coming much. Oh. Girl, you gonna make me shed a tear. And I'm not even a crier.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yep. Make sure you have your journal with you, beside you, for sure.
And make sure you light a candle too, Soraya. Light a white candle.
Mm-hmm.
When you.
Oh no, you're fine.
No, girl, no. That's why I wanted to make sure that you were finished. I was not trying to rush you, girl. Take as much time as you need. I only pinned the next question because I didn't want to lose it. So please, I wanted to make sure that you were content with the answers. So yeah, take as much time as you need, my love. That was the reason why I pinned the next comment. So
yeah.
If you're good, then we're good. As long as you're good, we good.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good. All right. All right. So we're giving you another energetic hug and sending you lots of kisses. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and first off, thank you for asking your question on the live, and let's get to the next question. Do you see a pen?
Yep, I see it. Spirit is hilarious. Spirit told me to do something. There was a brief moment in time, you all, where I was entertaining a psychic company. And so we had to answer questions. And so Spirit told me to pull the deck, just like that platform. That's why I said it's funny. Spirit is funny. That's for me.
Good time, yeah. Make you happy. Lovely. Please hold in the next 12 to 15 minutes and make us comfortable and things to make me comfortable and secure. Well, their friendship goal.
Yeah. So the first card that came out is the Five of Cups. Hold on, let me read this last bit.
Mm-hmm.
Please, her. Yeah, so it's so I'm hearing played it all before. I'm hearing it plain as day. But your lies ain't working now. Look who's hurting now. See, I had to shut you down. I had to shut you down. Like it's like you keep hearing it, but it's almost like you already know that you're not believing it. It's like you want this to be, but you also know inwardly that this is not what he's trying to paint the picture to be. Um, Plus, I feel like this is a distraction for you, honestly. And I say that because the next card is the Hierophant card, which means that you're getting direct messages from up above. Like it's like you can't make this decision, which the next card literally is the Two of Wands here. You can't make the decision because it's a battle between heaven and earth, if you want to put it that way. It's like you have this person here on earth that is showing you these things, but you don't quite trust it. And then it's like spirit is pulling you in a different way. Now, I don't know what your religious beliefs are, or like what you're into, right? But I'm seeing right here that it's a decision. It, like, if you want to look at it, it's almost like this. Which lane do you want to be in? Which decision are you going to go for? Are you going to go for this route, or are you going to go for this route? Either way, there is a decision that you have to make, and that's when things start to fall in place, right? It Because even with myself, like some people say that have always deemed me like weird or queer, as my grandmother would say. And the thing about that is that there were times where I had to make a decision based off of what I was being told, hence tonight's topic, right? If spirit told me to go stand in dirt for 10 minutes with no shoes on, I'm doing that. I don't know why I'm doing that, right? I just know I'm being told to. Now I'm older. Spirit wanted me to ground myself, right? So it's certain things, certain thoughts that come across your mind, and you're just like, I don't know where this thought came from. And it's almost like you kind of like, okay, whatever. And it's like, no, 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 no. Pay attention to what you're being told, because you're being told those things for a reason. Um, but it's like you know the truth. Um, okay. Yeah. So this card was for me to see like the overall picture, because this is the energy that I believe that you're in, but you're just like, I needed that confirmation in order to do this. It is the Three of Wands in reverse. So inherently, you already know that you don't want to move forward. It's like physically you want to move forward, but on the inside, you know, like this is not the move for you. Yeah. Remember the three cards I showed, right? Hold on, where they go? Remember the devil card came out. See, untrustworthy. Remember the devil card came out. When you start to have intuitions, the devil will twist things, will send something your way to distract you from what you're really supposed to do. Right. And the fact that you're starting to notice, and I would even say early on, right, that okay, you're still living with your ex, you still dealing with her, you say you got to make up, and this is feeling uncomfortable. And if the devil can trap you into a situationship, then what happens is that you're going to spiral out, right? Eventually you're not going to be in a place where you can hear from spirit clearly, because we get so consumed of the things of this world. And that was the directive for me to even do a lot more spiritual stuff, go in, right, just as much as I live and breathe and eat and sleep in this realm, visit the other realm as equally as much as possible, so that I am balanced through and through. That's something that we all have to find out. Like, we have to have that equal balance. So it's more so like, do not get too consumed with him. You see the situation for what it is. And spirit is like, when you leave and go higher, there's so much more when you go upstairs. I was about to say the upper room, but we're not trying to send you to the upper room right now. No, ma'am. We need you on. We need you here, okay? So we're not sending you. We are not sending you to the upper room. But we're gonna send you where you need to go, upstairs, where you get all your prized possessions, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, your true love, right? And how he's supposed to be presented to you.
We're gonna make sure that they took all that in before we close
Mm.
out, because that's a lot.
Right.
See?
Right. And you know what? To that's when you tell people, well, since I'm not a part of that contract, and since we don't have a contract, I'll take my business elsewhere. Right. That's how you have to say, because that's what a lot of people do when they want to get over on you and pull from you, drain you of things. I have, trust me, I have heard that before. That is their way of saying, I want my, actually the saying is, I want my Kate and Edith too. And it's just like, I want them both, but they both don't have to know each other. And it's like, no, no, and guess what? I don't have to live by these rules. If you have your Edith, Kate is gonna be going somewhere else. Okay, like, remember, you are the treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
Mm-hmm.
huh. You are the treasure. Yes, like me and Soraya talk about this topic all the time.
Man.
She always tell me to get my species. So this
Okay.
is a public
Please.
announcement to my species. Stop acting up. Stop acting the fool. Stop it.
It's just, I love that. So I'm gonna start using that.
That look, that karma is not what you want, my brother. I'm telling you.
That ain't what they look. I'm telling you,
You're gonna be left with nothing.
zero, zilch, nada. So you want to make sure that you are hailing your ass across town to make sure you don't get hit by a stray. Because when that karma come through, baby, when that karma come through,
In the good words of Whitney Houston, you will have nothing Nothing. Nothing. So yeah, and it's sad that we still live in a world where people feel like they have to manipulate. And I always tell people, if you have to feel like you need to manipulate somebody, then that means there's something missing within yourself. It's
Definitely.
not the other person, it's something that you're missing within
Definitely.
yourself. Because if you can't
Definitely.
be your authentic self,
Mhm.
then why?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It sounds like he may also have abandonment issues, honestly, because if you cannot choose which way you want to go and you want to have them both, that means that you want to have a plan A and a plan B, and quite possibly a plan C. And that could mean that that person has abandonment issues because if this person leaves, I know I have this person on deck. I have this person on speed dial, so I'll never be without. It makes me sick too. Makes me sick to my
Ooh.
stomach. But that's what it sounds like. I don't know if that's the actual diagnosis. That just sounds like that's a symptom of someone who may have abandonment issues.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Wait.
Right. Right.
Right.
Exactly. I agree.
Exactly.
Wholeheartedly.
Right. So,
Wholeheartedly.
because it's like, just think about it. This is, say this the last your old relationship, right? Your relationship 2020, when we was all in a relationship with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2025. And COVID is not as deadly as it was back then, but we still walking around like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
We still try to protect. And it's like, oh, because I'm in a relationship with 2020. Well, it's 2025. Are you gonna let it go? Oh, no, I'm good. We got a contract. We working some things out, okay? And we're trying to work on our relationship and just be there for each other. But I'm gonna love you too, 2025, when I don't have to wear this mask.
Exactly. Whew, baby.
Yep.
Exactly. And you're not trying to be Miss Cleo. That's another headache that you don't need. That's another ounce of your energy spent trying to figure out what's going on. And just because you're not physically lifting something and you're not feeling the physical aftermath of it, that is your mind always wondering what's going on, and it's spinning in circles. And it's the definition of sin. And that's going to eventually make you feel like you have to know what's going on. You have to be there. And it's going to in turn make you just crazy, girl. LIG it and let it go.
Yeah.
LIG it. He never denies anything, just tries to kind of beat around the bush. Yeah, because he probably knows that if he denies it, he got someone over here that can show receipts if he tries to deny it. That's probably why he's not going to deny it, because he knows someone is over there taking tabs.
Mm-hmm.
In case he tries to deny it, she gonna pull the receipts out. LIG it, baby girl. LIG it. And sometimes things sound more sensible once you talk them out. This is why we have ask speed, because it's hard sometimes to make a decision until you have someone else to bounce the decision off of.
Right.
What we're doing now. What we're doing now, we're having an open discussion. And if it walks like a duck, sounds like a duck, and quacks like a duck, chances are it's a
It's a
duck.
dud. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I want you to also keep us updated too. Um, because we want you to stand in your power.
Mm-hmm.
And with matters of the heart, we know love
That's it.
sometimes it's heart above head, but right now we need you to be head above heart.
And I'm just going to share. I'm being instructed to share this story with you. So, in my daytime job, right? Not my current, but in my daytime job in the past, I used to do testing in the community, right? HIV testing, STD testing, etc. And there was a young lady that came in, and I began to talk to her about this medication called PrEP, HIV prevention. And so she explains to me that she has to get tested because the guy wanted her to get tested because he was on the basketball team and he was trying to get into the NBA and so forth, so on. So my question to her was, do you know if he's getting tested? Because she has a child, right? And I said, the thing is, you have to think about yourself and your child first and foremost before you talk about him, to bring him into your life. And if he's asking you to get tested but he's not, then that's a flag for me, because why are you not getting tested but you want me to test? And it was this power thing that he wanted to control her. With me talking with her, she came back for her results and said that she broke up with him because she asked him and he said, well, why would I need a test? You're the one that's trying to be with me. And she was like, but you're not trying to be with me.
What?
And so she said, oh yeah, I've seen enough, and she's left. And so when a strong woman is there, like these weak men, and I will say this, these weak men will try to prey on the strength of a strong woman and mask it as if she is the problem when she is not. And I would even go further to say, when weak people see strong people, they try to latch on like a leech and try to control them in the name of love.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Very
Yep.
much so. See it again. Very much so. They try to flip it and reverse it. It's your feminine before yet. You had another comment. Um, she said while they're there, like she'll try to knock on the door
Oh
and like
yeah.
offer to, and that starts an argument with them. That would start an argument with me too, because for one, why are you trying to come in here while we're trying to enjoy each other's company? What are you doing? You're his roommate. Conduct yourself as such.
Yeah.
That right there should tell you, her knocking on the door, asking him if he wants some food. She's not a roommate. She's conducting herself as a sister wife. That right there. She feels comfortable enough to knock on the door and ask if he wants some food. So she's used to either cooking for him or they're used to either going out. That right there, that's a dead giveaway.
And I'm also hearing Mary J. Blige. It's I want to say the song is called Baggage, and the chorus goes is like, I got this baggage with me. Don't want to make you pay for what someone else has done to me. I don't know what to do. So, but it's like that's his energy, right? He don't know what to do, so he wants to take his baggage with you. That's not your responsibility to handle his baggage.
And also that next to the last comment that you just left, that's another toxic trait that toxic men will do when they know that they're in the wrong and there's no other way of getting back in the right. They talk you out your drawers, because that's the only other way they can get you
to let down your guard.
They can get you to shut up. They said talk you out your drawers
and let your guard down.
And let your guard down. So yeah. So instead of him having a honest conversation and talking to you like a man, coming to you as a man, and letting you know that what just happened was disrespectful, and that should never happen again. Her coming into the room asking if I want food, he talking you out your drawers.
Mm-hmm.
So he don't have no emotional intelligence, because an emotional intelligent man is gonna correct what just tried to infiltrate your little date night and shut it down. That's what the emotional, intelligent man will do. Yes, he tells me all the time I shouldn't feel away about this whole thing because he's had girls who didn't have issues with the same. Then let him be with the girl who didn't
Exactly.
have those issues. Let him go be
Exactly.
with
Where
them.
they at now?
Because any woman with a backbone is not going to stand for that.
No, not at
Any
all.
woman with a backbone is not going to stand for that. And that's why you're not standing for that, because you have a backbone. And that's why you're questioning it. Because you know what? There are some women that are just going to be okay with it. Why? Because he's laying the pipe. You're not okay with that. You're not okay with just the pipe being laid.
Yeah.
Yes, my love. We want an update on this.
Mhm.
We want a live and direct update on this. He lets girl no. He lets her use his car. No.
Yeah.
This is all the information that you need right here. And sometimes it takes seeing it, like writing it out and reading it and hearing someone else read it for it to click, honestly. Sometimes that's what it takes. So I hope that these
You got a
messages are
whole
registered.
tribe ready to pop off.
He's pissing me off too, Soraya. He is pissing me off too. So yeah, sometimes this is what it takes. It's an open. This is a soul family, and we are now giving you wisdom, strength, courage, and wisdom to know that this is not what it seems. And your wisdom has already spoken. Now we need you to have your strength to walk away. To walk away from this situation. And the pipe not even good. Girl!
Yeah, don't even.
Listen, I was not ready for that one.
Just walk away. Just walk away. You don't even have to make a statement. Like,
you don't.
If you left something in his room, right? I would say even pretend like you just going, oh, I just want to come see you, and you get your things.
Listen.
You get your things and you go home. You leave with those things.
You leaving his life is going to be the biggest void. All right? When something good, something important, something substantial, something substance leaves someone's life,
yeah,
they're going to end up missing.
And
he's a feeling. He's going to avoid.
And the reason why I'm asking you to get your things is so that he nor anyone else can place anything on you by using the items that belong to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a real thing too.
Yep. Had bail money to the side. So right, I'm done with you. We had bail money. Listen, that's that Gemini. You don't know what side you're gonna get, so you better have that bail money, all right?
Right. Listen, the passcode is this. Don't ask no questions, but this is the passcode should you need it. Like, what?
So right, I'm glad you ain't had me there, because a Gemini with a Sagittarius, girl, both of us would have been in jail, okay? Because I don't think nothing through, okay? All I'm thinking about is who we gotta get. Who we gotta take out.
Yeah.
As long as you got the bail money, we good.
Yeah.
Exactly. His BS is your closure. Thank
you,
Free.
Yes.
Thank you, Free. His BS is your closure. That's all the closure you need, my love. His BS. Yeah. We don't gotta get ready because we stay ready. You already know, Soraya.
Mm-hmm.
We stay ready. We stay ready. That's why I said, had I been there, girl, we both would have been locked up. We would have been on some Akon edge.
Guys, you see what happens when one guy messes up. All y'all gotta pay for it. The eyes is watching.
We all come full circle because when you on this platform, we riding for you. We riding for you. We leave at dawn, okay?
Yeah.
We leave at dawn.
Yeah.
The closest way to leave someone is to be Be how he was when you tried to get him to explain why this heifer's in his room.
Exactly.
Be like how he was. He didn't say nothing, right? So when you leave, you don't say nothing. You let him feel that same energy that you wanted to hear when you tried to get him to explain why this heifer was in his room. You give him the same energy. Don't match energy. Give him that same energy. Don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing. So please keep us updated, my love. Girl, we love you for loving it here. And we do this for y'all.
Yes.
We do this for y'all. But that's why I got staged before every episode, because we don't know who's trying to come in here. And we don't know who's trying to come in here and stop you from asking your question. That's why I always stage beforehand so that people feel comfortable and all of the negative entities and monitoring spirits are eradicated so that people feel comfortable asking their questions. So we're so glad that you were able to come on and ask your question. And please keep us posted. Keep us updated. And yes, work on yourself, because that'll make it a hell of a lot easier. Once you heal and you start to evolve, he won't even be attracted to you. Or no, I'm sorry, you won't even be attracted to him. He can't even reach you because you're going to be evolving on such higher realms and higher levels to where you won't even be attracted to him anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably, right now you're probably wondering how you can get out of the situation. If you're wondering that, but once you heal, it's already done. It's already done. It's already a done deal. All right. So, thank you. Thank you so much for asking that question. And thank you, Tribe, for chiming in to help answer that question.
Yeah.
And we just want to let you guys know that we do this every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. 11:11 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to save this live to make sure that people that came in late are able to watch it. And if you guys have another Ask B question, please make sure you ask next week. If you're going to forget it, shoot us a DM so that we have it. We'll read it, or you can come on like you guys did today. Tonight we got so many more comments coming in. All right, guys. So we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode. And please remember, the cards do not dictate your fate. They simply illuminate your life. So choose wisely, love deeply, and stay rooted. We'll see you guys next week. Love y'all. Peace. Bye, Bessie.
Bye.